Alright, what's up everybody? So I literally just walked out to the car and I was like, you know what, I'll just make the video now on the way to work. That way in case work pops off later, I'm not getting interrupted or whatever. So there's going to be a lot of videos in the car with me. Bear with me for a little bit. I really don't have any place to set up a studio at the moment. I'm doing my best. But okay, so Mitch Hooper's video that he posted a couple days ago that I saw yesterday. I wrote down some key takeaways. Again, I love this guy. I have mad love for all the Strongman, you know. The only beef that I don't like is the one between Eddie and Thor. I wish they would just bury the hatchet, because I really think they both bring a great clientele and drive to the sport and the strongman community, you know. But they got their personal reasons for that, and I'm not going to shame them for that. Like, you know, Eddie felt dissed. I don't know what all was said or what happened. I try to stay away from as much drama as I can, you know, and it's something that he feels he can't mend with Thor. Then hey man, it is what it is, you know. I have relationships. I mean, I don't even talk to my brother, you know. But anyway, so the video from Mitch Hooper, he talked about some key factors of strongman, and he got down into the raw truth of things. And it was what it really takes to be a strongman. And no, I'm not like, you know, America's Strongest Man or the World's Strongest Man, but I've been doing the sport for over 4 years. So I know, and you know, it's cool because no one really talks about in depth about what he talks about. And I'm very glad he made this video because I was getting ready to make it myself because, like, man, no one talks about the subject at all. You know, and I'm sitting here and I'm working out hard, really hard, you know, and I'm building muscle, I'm building strength, I'm seeing great results, but fuck, am I sore, right? So pain tolerance. Mitch Hooper says in order to be a strongman, you have to have pain tolerance, and it can't just be a one-day kind of pain tolerance thing, or like no, it has to be every single day. See, there you go. Work's already popping off. Anyway, so with this pain tolerance,
I'd say we're probably going to need
I'm going to do a complete separate video on this alone. So I'm not going to touch on it too much now, except for the fact I will say that you have to completely understand this is going to be a painful journey. And this isn't just for strongman. This is for like bodybuilding, getting strong in general, you know, even being like a regular athlete, you know. I'm not going to call myself an athlete, but, you know, but some of the people out there, you know, like who put the work in, day out, and they do, I mean, it's insane how much this can wear on your body, you know. So anyway, pain tolerance, huge. Recovery. If you think the workout is important, your recovery is twice, if not triple, the importance. Because think about it. If you work out really hard on Monday and you put in great effort, but you're so sore that you can't get out of bed or even make it to the gym on Tuesday, what was the point, right? Now you're missing out on opportunities to go increase more strength or work different muscle groups because you're sore and in a lot of pain. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I have done this myself, and it's gonna happen. There are gonna be days where you get in the gym and you're like, fuck it, I'm full send, I'm gonna push really hard. You do that, and it's a great workout, but the next day you're like screaming. If not the next day, the day after. We call that DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, right? You get that huge pump the day of, and either the next day or the following day after that is when it just sets in. And that's why your recovery is huge. So I'm going to do a separate video on recovery, some tips and tricks that I've picked up, and then just some, like, listen to your body moments, okay? So we'll do another video on that. I'm going to do a video for each of these, just because they're really good topics and they're very broad, and it's good to do a deep dive in all of them versus just talking for each one like 2 minutes, because this is a lifestyle, you know. It is not just I'm going to go do strongman for a day or a year and then walk away or whatever. No, to do this sport, this way of life, you really have to adopt it as a lifestyle. So it changes everything that you do. So recovery, time consumption, strongman in general, you're looking at, some people say they do their workouts in an hour. That's fine, whatever. Everyone's different. You do you. I personally like to take the 2-hour approach. I tried to go past 2 hours, and I'll tell you the reason why I do the 2-hour approach in that video. But time consumption. The workouts alone are extensive, right? Setting up for the workout is almost 90% of your time in the, well, I wouldn't say 90, maybe like 60% of your time in the gym is just setting up, like moving weights around, you know, getting things staged, resting because you just moved all the weight and loaded the bar. Now you got to, you know, make sure that you can get enough ATP back in so that you can actually go do the thing, you know, which segues into sacrifices. So with anything that you personally are on a journey to do to try and become successful and disciplined in itself aligns with success. If you're disciplined, you're going to have success. But with discipline comes sacrifice. And I'm not talking about just sacrificing time. You're going to be sacrificing your energy, your mood, your mindset. I mean, at the end of the day, you're sacrificing your body to this sport, this way of life, for a good thing. But it has its consequences on longevity as well, you know, down the road. So yeah, you're gonna sacrifice a lot for this sport, this way of life. And then the last thing he said was find your why. And I love this. This is something that was instilled in us in a leadership course back in the military. Find your why. If you always have your why and it's in your hand, it's tangible, right? And you hold on to it, it's gonna completely make everything coalesce, right? Everything's gonna line up, it's gonna groove, it's gonna fit, vibe, as these youngsters say, whatever. The important thing is that if you find your why and you keep your why, you keep your focus. If you can keep your focus, then every other thing I mentioned beforehand, the pain tolerance, recovery, time consumption, and sacrifice, they don't appear that way to you anymore because you have your why and your mindset. And that's one of my biggest things I'm going to talk about throughout all of these videos that I'm going to make is mindset. It is the number one thing that you can do, that you can bring to the table every single day. As soon as you wake up, it'll change the outcome of the day. Even with all the other factors and BS that might happen and bad things and even good things, you know, your mindset will change your stress response, and your stress response is that cortisol, inflammation, that all equates into everything, your whole body's well-being, your workouts, your eating habits, your sleep, you You know, if you can dial all that in, man, it's going to be pretty solid, you know. So I've spent 10 minutes plus talking about Mitch Hooper's video that he put out, and like I said, all these are important things. Like, I'm sure if we sat down with other strongmen and we had them, you know, go in depth on their perspectives of Mitch Hooper's topics here, you would get a great response for that. And I hope that some of them do, you know, talk about, hey, like, yeah, I worked out and I couldn't feel my hands. They were numb and tingling because I worked out so hard with overhead press, and now I have inflammation on my muscles and my nerves, and I'm getting radiculopathy. You know, like, no one talks about that. It's insane. They all talk about, you know, their kind of ways and methods of recovery or whatever, and they're working out, and they'll say they're sore. They leave it at that. They don't talk about what does that sore feel like, you know? So I'm going to try and broach all those topics throughout the week. I don't know, I mean, if today's slow, it's raining. Cops don't like to work in the rain, you know, we don't like to get wet writing tickets. I'm joking. I love getting wet writing tickets. I write tickets no matter what. But generally people are a little bit slower on days like this. So we'll see. If I can get these videos done today, I'll get them done today. I'll get them uploaded as soon as I can. And, you know, I'm new to this. I've never YouTubed before or done podcast. So if you guys got tips, pointers, if you can't hear me that well, or whatever, like, please put it in the comments. I know there's going to be a lot of negative comments regardless. It is what it is. But hopefully you guys can put some positive ones in there for me, and that way I can know, like, what to do better to make this more enjoyable for everybody. And also hit the little bell thingy, subscribe, and I mean, I'm not. My goal is not to be famous, but hell, let's do it. You know. So, but yeah, that's really all I have for this moment. I could talk for hours, so if I don't stop now, I'm gonna keep going and rambling, and I'll eventually do all these topics in one video anyway. So I'm gonna stop now, and I'll catch y'all later. Have a good day. Enjoy the weather.